Welcome back to the At Home with Roby show. I'm Ashley Davis along with Trent Haston. We're your hosts. We're glad you're spending your Sunday morning with us. Whether you're in the car or on the couch, you're always at home with Roby. Visit us today at andrewroby.com. That's Andrew, ROBY.com. Or you can always click on the At Home with Roby tab at WBT.com. Trent, before the break, David, by the way, thanks so much for staying with us. We were talking with David Carroll, one of the valued clients of the Andrew Roby Company. We did a lot of work for his home in Charlotte and renovated that so he didn't have to buy a new one. But when the time came for him to build a new home in the mountains up in Linville, he turned to Andrew Roby, Trent. And that house, I was looking at some pictures earlier. If you want to see it, you can go to andrewroby.com, click on the gallery. It is a beautiful home.
Yeah, we already had a presence in the mountains for a couple years, and I think David made mention to my brother. We found out about it through you or Don Duffy originally, and oh man, David's looking at building a mountain house. We got to talk to David, and so that's how it came about. And God bless that he allowed us the opportunity to construct this masterpiece for him. You know, we don't design build because there's quality, and I think Don Duffy was the architect.
Yep.
He designed something that us as contractors could have never thought of in our heads, and fortunately, he allowed us to build it. So thank you so much.
Well, the pleasure was all mine. We had a lot of fun with it, and you did a terrific job. I was sad to see actually the construction finish.
Well, you know, we hear that a lot. You can just keep doing stuff at the house.
Well, you're building that barn,
I think
right?
you have done that, right?
Well, actually, we have, and we continued a little bit. Your superintendent up there, Rick Gentry, who's become a good friend, is finishing up a barn he's built for me in the woods, and I don't know what I'm going to ask him to do next.
In the woods.
Something out.
Yeah, this is a barn in the woods. I was up there about 3 weeks ago, and there was this really cool ladder in the shop.
Yeah.
And I said, well, what in the heck is that? And he said, man, that's for Mr. Carroll's. That's for Mr. Carroll's barn.
Yeah, we've got a little loft in the barn, and Rick had this cool idea of putting an old-fashioned ladder on wheels like you would see either in a library or an old country store.
Well, that's, you know, my dad built a really cool, one of the last things he built, just craftsman-wise, was a cool ladder to my kid's bunk bed. And he told my wife, he said, let me do this. And nothing rustic in my house. And he builds this rustic ladder. It's probably got 10 layers of shellac on it. He mounted it to the wall. It's got these old heart pine pegs I think he built it out of. So yeah. I'm a fan for cool ladders. That's cool. But we were talking about Rick during the break, and Rick's our division manager up there, Rick Gentry. I think Rick said he started building in Linville Ridge before the Linville Ridge had its own building company back when they started in 81.
Right.
So I meet this guy. He's tough like the brawny man, soft like a teddy bear, right?
Yeah. He's one of a kind. And like I said, he's become a really good friend, but just I trust him implicitly. He's got great judgment. I would go up to the house and see something that was finished and come back a week later and it would be ripped out. And I say, what's going on? He said, well, it wasn't right. And it's just impeccable judgment and great work ethic and experienced in the mountains. There's a lot of things you need to know about building up there that aren't the same down here or at the beach. And a fun guy. And my wife loves him.
Well, Rick and my dad never met. But when I met Rick, he said, me and your dad were the same. You know, I can see. And for that, I have bonded with Rick, and Travis has bonded with Rick. But Rick's very proud of how he builds, and he's very proud of the Rick Gentry name and brand in the mountains. And we love that. That's what we work together. We say, you're part of the Roby family, but we need the status and the mentality and the ethics of Rick Gentry's to be great in the mountains.
Well, he's got a terrific reputation, and if we ever do anything again, of course, the first person I'll call will be Rick up there. And like I said, he's just become a good friend.
Now, Rick loves you and Teresa, your wife, and he was talking about how he told me this story a couple weeks ago. I don't think you even know I know this story. Something about the tile grout in the foyer or when you come in the door, and Teresa said, Rick, you just picked that out. He said, oh, crap.
Well, we left a lot of stuff up to Rick because after a while, you just knew his judgment was going to be the right thing, and it proved to be right every time.
But he said about a week later, y'all were back up, and it was grouted. And she goes, "Oh my gosh, Rick, come here! This is wrong." And he said, "Oh," and she said, "I'm just messing with you."
Yeah, she likes to play a few tricks on him, and Travis too here.
Well, why y'all messing with my guys? That's my
funny.
job.
Folks, if you're just tuning in, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. We're joined by David Carroll, one of our valued clients. We're talking about the process of building his mountain home up in Linville. And David, you mentioned, the fact how much trust you have in the Andrew Roby Company and Rick Gentry. That's got to be something you have to have when you're building a home remotely. You're not there all the time. You have to have that valued trust to make sure that it goes right.
I learned a long time ago, it's a lot easier to build a house out of town than in town, because as an owner, you're not there to see what's not getting done. Because when you're local, you go by there every day. And
so we don't need to put cameras in the trees?
No. Well, I built a house at the lake one time, and I told the builder, I said, this will be great. I'm going to put a web camera in the tree. That'll be fun. He said, fun for who?
Because you can be looking at it every night.
Yeah. But I actually knew about Rick before I met him because the Lutgert family that developed Linville Ridge are from Naples, Florida, and they are good long-term clients of ours at the bank, and knew of his reputation and the quality of things that had been built there. And when I met Rick, when I was introduced to him, I was thrilled that you guys, you've incredibly been able to hire great people just as the market was really turning around. And so to your credit, I don't know how you found the craftsmen. Your subs up there were top-notch, unbelievable. This house has a lot of stone, a lot of specialty woodwork, a really funky roof with compound angles, and it was just done flawlessly.
Well, go on our website and please check it out. But we were talking during the break. I told David, I said, coming from a quality building family, I always like houses that have details, the little details that the average person doesn't notice, but they know they love the house.
Yeah.
He's got roof swoops. So go online and check this house out. And down as you get towards the end of the roof run, it swoops out and it's curved. And it's a shingle roof, wood shingle roof.
It's a cedar shingle roof with really big 4x6 cedar rafter tails that are curved. It almost looks like a gingerbread house kind of. And there's a lot of features on it, but we've got an eyelid window in the roof. And I kept asking Rick, how you going to bend those shingles? And he said, I don't know, I'll figure it out. And ultimately, he had a galvanized tub that he boiled the shingles out in the driveway and then bought a microwave and had the microwave on the roof. And after he boiled them, he microwaved them to get them pliable enough to bend 3 different ways.
Wow.
And it looks perfect.
It looks great.
That's called adapting and overcoming.
Yeah.
That's an awesome story. Well, David, thank you so much for being here. Trent, I know how much David means to us as a client of Andrew Roby.
Yeah, this is a special morning. Sincerely, it really is to get to meet you and talk to you.
Well, thanks, you guys, for everything you've done for us here in Charlotte and for saving me all this money by not having to buy a new house every 2 years.
You're welcome, sir. We can do that for you anytime.
So I'm sure there's a renovation coming up soon, right?
One more year. You just did one in February, so I got another year left.
Good deal. All right. Folks, you're listening to the At Home with Roby show. Stay with us. We'll be right back.